Major Problems, thank you for the super chats.
I don't want peace. I want problems, always.
Please explain how GW picks the Codex roadmap in Paint. Okay, GW roadmap explained in MS Paint. Let's do this. How does GW make a roadmap for 40k? So the first thing is every edition starts with Space Marines. No questions asked. And then what happens is GW needs to release a second Codex. And this always has to be something that is significantly shitter than the Space Marines. Now, traditionally, this was Chaos. But GW finally fucking realized that humans fighting aliens is way more interesting than humans fighting, like, you know, other angry humans. So now it's something fucking alien, okay? Like, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be pretty much anything. So this always comes first. Now, after that, it's pretty much a bit of a crapshoot who's going to come next. But it's probably going to be... So how GW determines what Codex they're going to release next, what they do is they get a big pit. And this pit is divided up into a number of segments. And each one of these segments is for one of the other 26 factions. So we're just going to do... Imagine 26 lines there. Okay. Firstly, GW gathers the Grand Council of Codexes, also known as Devil Worshippers. GW consults the Grand Council, and they assemble the Grand Council, and what happens is the Grand Council they'll get the chicken, and what they'll do is they'll cut its throat. And so they're going to cut its throat, and then the chicken is basically going to run around like a headless chicken, and then it's going to land on one of these segments. And whichever segment that the chicken lands on, that'll be the faction that then gets the next Codex. And that's what's going to be in phase number 2. Now, there is a big rule here, though, is that the faction that comes next can't be Guard. If it's Guard, they've got to get a new chicken or a new virgin woman. It doesn't really matter which. And if it's Guard, they have to re-roll it. Okay. And that stands true for the first 2 years of release. So they follow this process along, and we get about 3 or 4 codexes in. So, we got like phase 1 here, and then it comes along here, But, by and large, the first sort of 3 or 4 codexes, whatever they may be, whatever the chicken's landed on, they come out and the community likes them. And the codexes, aren't too powerful. Sometimes they're actually underpowered. But at some point is one of two things. The chicken is gonna land on Tau. And when it lands on Tau, what happens then is the game gets completely fucking ruined. Because inevitably, the people that write Tau, whilst the chicken is doing its thing, or whilst the virgin is being sacrificed, but never both. But whilst it happens, they're furiously masturbating with the sticky hands and the ectoplasm being everywhere. When they're writing the fucking codex, their fingers like sort of slip, or they've not quite had that post-nut clarity yet. So they're thinking what they're doing right now is great, and they keep wanking until Tau is released. But then when the codex finally hits the fucking shelves and it breaks the fucking game, they fucking blow their load, and at that point they achieve the post-nut clarity, and that's when the council realizes that they fucked it, and then we end up getting a series of incredibly hard nerfs. Now, what can happen is basically at the same time as it being Tau, you may end up actually also getting what's a good color for Eldar. Now there is a it's either Tau or it's going to be Eldar, and in some unfortunate circumstances it can be both. But yeah, so basically what's going to happen is it's going to be okay. Now once the game inevitably gets broken, and everyone's complaining about it, and people start getting tired, and they start going to other game systems Some people start going to like action and stuff. But basically, what's going to happen is this site, despite this, the cycle's going to continue on, and occasionally we're going to have some of these other pretty broken things, and then the cycle sort of continues on. It continues on. Sometimes we get double release at the same time, but finally, what's going to happen is GW is going to release a new faction. Now, it would be nice. Occasionally, this new faction is completely new. Like in 3rd edition, when Tau came out, which was the last completely new faction that we had. But typically what will happen is GW will, using the accumulated blood of all of the sacrificed virgin women, they will use that to conduct a necromantic ritual. And what they'll do is they will either split out a faction into multiple factions. So, for example, they'll have Eldar, and then they'll just split them out into like Harlequins or something like that. Or they'll take Chaos and just split them out into like World Eaters. Or, like I said, they'll do a necromantic ritual and they'll bring back like, Votan into squats. Squats into Votan, I should say. But at some point, they're going to desperately try and rekindle interest in the game by releasing a brand new faction. And we'll use that for yellow here. So they're going to release a brand new faction. Now, this faction is going to be overpowered. GW will suffer a lot of accusations of it being overpowered, but they won't give a shit. They might release a video after they've taken all the pre-orders, showing how broken it, saying, oh, we're sorry about being broken, but they don't give a shit. They're going to get the pre-orders in first. That's going to be the big thing, and that's going to be about that. Now, this is all taking place. We've got the resurrected faction. That's when when the edition's struggling is when they resurrect something. And then we're gonna continue on, but then what's gonna happen, finally, we get to the end of the edition. GW releases the Imperial Guard Codex, and that Imperial Guard, and they're gonna tell the Guard players, don't worry, your Codex is coming. Don't worry, your Codex is gonna be compatible with the new edition. Don't worry, we've got you. All you need to do is hold the line a little bit longer. Guard players will finally get their Codex, only for it to be invalidated 3 months later when the cycle starts again. And that is how an RBMK reactor explodes. So there you go. That is how GW plans out an edition. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian glory hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bonbon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.